the past 2025, it is considered AI, the year that video technology really took off among the many open source models. WAN 2.2 is undoubtedly the best one. In this lesson we learn the full set of processes of WAN 2.2 to sharing video, take you by hand, understand the core skills of one video wrapper. Combine torch.compile to pull the performance for. All information is directly obtained in the video introduction. You are welcome to communicate in the comment area. We open the video template. The Tusheng by KJ. Others remain unchanged. Go back to the K-sampler. Let's leave the following interfaces alone, and then the step count is down there. Its steps are no longer 4 steps, but increased to 6 steps because of this acceleration LoRa. The recommended Let's click run again. Successfully make up frames for the picture. If you still want to do something with the video, for color matching, it is highly recommended to use CapCut Scissors software for color grading. If you say the format of your merged video nodes, if it has always been in this lossless format, then when you debug in the later software, will be more comfortable. It's not easy to do individual teaching. If this video has helped you, please like and support us a lot. Thanks a lot.